You're now, that's what's important. We experience a collapse in our life structure most of the time because we fail to funeralize failed yesterdays. You have to be strong enough basically to realize you can elevate out of your current situation. Instead of looking at where you think you should be by now, look at where you have grown out of. There are many individuals who need help with their blueprint. And I want to be that vessel, nothing special, just that mouthpiece to inspire you to construct the best version of your life that you can be. Welcome to the LifeStruction with Eric podcast. Thank you once again for pulling up on me. Thank you. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. And what you need to definitely promise to do is, LifeStruction fam, share this podcast out. Make sure you hit that share button. Today on the pod, I'm excited to have personal success speaker and coach, Miss Pamela Jones-Smith, as my guest. We used to be co-workers a few years back. And when I tell you, when she walked into the room, the smile that graced upon her face and the spirit that she carries, it just lights up the entire room whenever her presence is basically entered into the room. So I'm happy to have her on the podcast today. At this time, I'm going to welcome Miss Pamela on to the show. Welcome, Pam. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing great.
Good. So glad to have you here. Thank you for being obedient and accepting the call. I know you are a very, very busy woman, so I'm just honored to have you on with us, today to chat a little bit. Before we dive in, tell us a little bit about yourself and what it is that you do.
All right. Well, first of all, it is an honor to be here. Thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of this amazing show that you have. And I like to tell people that I am a born encourager. I was put on this earth to encourage people. So that's what I do. We do personal growth and success. And that pretty much is just helping people to grow to the desired level that they want and to just enjoy life and just live life to the fullest.
I love it. And I was like, reading some of your stuff, and I'm like, we're pretty much on the same level. Well, I'm not going to say same level, but we're in the same category. We're doing the same thing. And I was looking at your journal, that personal growth monthly planner, and what stuck out to me was that becoming a better you. I have a journal as well, and I call it building a better you. So it's all about pushing people, to bring out that better version, of themselves. Talk a little bit about your journal.
Absolutely. My journal is the same. What my journal is, it's like wherever you're at, because life deals everybody a hand, right? And we don't always like, and sometimes we look and we'll think, oh, wow, look at this person. They're over here doing this. They're over there doing that. And no, you miss out on so much comparing yourself with other people. So my journal is to focus on you. It is for you to set your own blueprint for your life. And I always say, no matter what you do, you have to be intentional and operate in love. So that's what my journal does. It allows you to set goals. It allows you to put down your accomplishments. So many times we accomplish what we're supposed to be accomplishing and we never celebrate it.
Yeah.
And we just keep working and working and trying and trying. And it's like, no, life was not meant to do that. We're supposed to sit back, we're supposed to work hard, and then we're supposed to enjoy all of the labors of our fruit. It's like, so I put that in there. And sometimes we get so busy, Eric, and we get so caught up that we don't realize what we're doing. So sometimes if you just jot it down, because sometimes we have to get it out of our head and get it on paper.
Right. Yeah. You said something key there. Celebrating your wins. When we create those goals and we reach those goals, so many times we're so busy staying busy that we forget to celebrate, and eventually we run out of gas. So it's mandatory that when you set that goal and you elevate and you are able to conquer that goal, it's definitely important and very mandatory, I would say, to celebrate. Take the time to celebrate you being able to accomplish that goal, and just wind down, enjoy life a little bit before you go into, that next phase, of, knocking off that next goal on your list, because sometimes, we forget what we have accomplished. And like I said, then we run out of gas.
Absolutely. I tell my clients all the time who work a 9 to 5, I says, look at it like working a 9 to 5. You would not go to a 9 to 5 and work for 2 weeks and not get a paycheck. So it's the same thing. Why would you set a goal and work so hard on the goal and not pay yourself by rewarding yourself by acknowledging, hey, I did this?
Right. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. You know, I ran into you at the airport. I think it was maybe about 2 years ago, and it was too funny. It was only, you was traveling with Regina, our friend, our mutual friend Regina, and it was only God that we were talking, and you mentioned something about you had just recently. I think I congratulated you because I had seen the post that you have recently, gotten certified through John Maxwell. And when you said that, I was like, whoa. It was too funny because I had really been thinking about doing it. And when you said, I was like, okay, God, I guess that's you speaking through her to tell me to go ahead and jump in and do it. So I jumped in and did it. And so I'm excited. I'm not going in March. I'm waiting out until April. I'm sorry, August, and I'm
Mhm.
going to go down for the certification. How was that experience for you?
It was an experience like none other. You are going to absolutely love it. You are going to love it. It is so powerful, and you have all of this hope, all of these dreams, and then when you see all of these other people, and it's like, wow, it's like, why did I ever wait so long to do
Yeah,
this?
yeah,
Because when you take the John Maxwell course, I mean, it's just not a fly by night thing. It's like you're in there, you're studying, you're learning, you're
right, right.
practicing, and it's like it's a great accomplishment. I think it's one of the greatest accomplishments that I have made.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I mean, I love all of the literature, and I've grown so much, since I've started taking the course, and it's just so much that you can apply to your everyday life, but it's so much, that you gain, as far as speaking skills, coaching skills, and so much. I'm like, I'll never be able to get to go through all of this, but you have it for a lifetime. So you can always go back in and partake.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes, it's definitely an advantage because, like you said, it's not just you out there getting information for other people. You're growing all of the while yourself. So you're
Right,
growing, you're helping other people to grow. It's like, oh wow, we're game changers. Look at us.
right. Definitely, definitely. So you do a lot of public speaking, and I see a lot. You post a lot. You're on always constantly, being blessed to be on different platforms speaking. And talk about that experience. Just being on that stage, just pouring into individuals. Talk about that experience, and also, tell us if you ever get testimonies back from people that was, able to be, in that audience, and they took something some of the tools that you suggested and applied them to their life, and how they were able to see growth on their part.
Absolutely. When I first started out, my intention was never to speak. I never wanted to be a speaker because people don't believe it, but I'm really shy. Yeah, I'm a shy person that talks all the time. So it started years ago to where I was always so quiet. I would never say anything. But that's because, as you can hear, the sound of my voice, which is the unique gift that God gave me. So people are always asking me, "Oh, where are you from? Are you from down south? What part of down south are you from?" No, I'm not from down south. Or when I'm actually speaking to someone who is from the south, they'll say, "Oh no, you're from Texas. You got that Texas twang." So I've always been teased about the sound of my voice, so it kind of made me shy.
Hmm.
Well, I started actually when I went to John Maxwell. So Roddy, he had his little his speaking thing, and all of a sudden he calls me out of the audience and just has me to start talking. I'm like,
Are you serious?
I did not want to do this. Why are you picking on me to do this? So I just got up and I started talking, and he said something that was so profound to me. He said, "Why are you nervous?" And I says, "Because," I says, "you have me up here and I'm not prepared. I wasn't planning on getting up speaking." And he said, "Until you said that, no one knew that."
Wow.
And I'm like, "Oh, really?" So after that, I just started speaking, and then I took a Toastmasters class because
Hmm.
I'm like, if I'm going to speak, then I need to come on and make sure that I'm speaking correctly. So I used to do a lot of so I started taking a Toastmaster class so I can brush up on that. I started speaking. Let me go back to about 2011. I was volunteering for homeless pregnant teens. So I would get up and I would talk to them all the time about, how to build their life up, how to get confidence. It's not the end of the world. Come on, let's get this going. You got a baby now. And that's kind of how my speaking started. The girls would always tell me, "Oh, Miss Pam, I can't believe that you told me to do this and I did this and now look at me." And I was like, "Yeah." And then they would show me how they were graduating from high school. And then other people would hear me and they'd be like, "Okay, well, I need you to come and speak at my women's conference." I'm like, "Oh, really? Okay. Well, what's the subject? Let's do this." So that's kind of how my speaking, and I absolutely love it now.
Yeah. That's man, I love the story about I mean, I love everything you just said, but the story about Roddy, I mean, out of everybody there, he picked you to come up on the stage. Wow.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that's never looked at it that way, but you're absolutely right. Nobody knows you're nervous until you say it.
That's it.
Yeah.
If you make a mistake, nobody knows unless you
Nobody
tell them
knows
that
it.
you made a mistake.
Right. Yeah. That's so true. So true. So you have a journal, but you have another book as well, right?
Yes, I do. I have a Becoming a Better You,
Okay.
and Becoming a Better You, um, what it does is it gives you a blueprint, because a lot of times we say, "I want to become a better me. I don't like where I'm at, but I don't like what I'm doing.
Mm,
I don't know how to change." So it kind of like breaks it up, and I give different examples and of things that you can do, and it's so real, because a lot of times, Eric, we feel like we're in this all alone,
right.
that nobody else is going through this, and sometimes you just need to know that somebody else has already went through something.
Right.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's what that one is about, and it's like sometimes we just try to eat the elephant all in one bite. And
Right.
you can't do that, because then you're going to get frustrated. So in my book, Becoming a Better You, I encourage people just to pick one or two things that they want to change. And it can be something very small, because it's the small things in life that count. If
Right.
the small
Right.
things that you do consistently will end up to be that bigger thing later.
That's right.
And so that's
That's
what
right.
that's what that book does. And it encourages you that just because I say, "Hey, I'm going to change," doesn't mean that when you go to bed at night and get up in the morning that you're going to be a changed person. We're going to have
Right.
challenges, we're going to have barriers, and in the book it helps you to figure out how you can overcome those.
Mm-hmm. I love it. I love it. Yeah. And it's I love, you know, there's so many people that's, doing what we're doing, but there's like everyone has their different way of doing things. One of the things I know about you, you're very genuine. Basically, it's one thing to speak, but you aim to make that connection. You want people to know you're speaking from the heart. And that's basically when you make that connection, with the people that you're pouring into, and they know it's heartfelt, people will receive that message. And that's when you get those, you get those that feedback, that they talking about how they really was blessed by what you said, and you spoke directly to them. I kind of stalked your Facebook page a little bit, and you had a recent post that caught my eye, and it was only 3 words. It basically said, "It's your turn,"
Mhm.
uh, and it talked a bit about making yourself a priority. And that post, it spoke volumes, because so many times we get so carried away helping others that we don't make ourselves, a priority. Talk about, your pitch, on that.
I tell people all the time that because everything I do is faith based, okay?
Mm-hmm.
It was not God's will for anybody to give your all, to give drain. We are supposed to give our overflow. So I always tell people that the first, if we could just get a hold of the first 2 commandments, our lives would be so much easier. Love your Lord God with all of your heart, your soul, and your mind. Love your neighbor as though you're loving yourself. And
Right.
that's where we miss it at so much, because you hear so many people talk about the haters. You hear so many people talking about people who don't support them. You hear people always say, "Well, I did this for this person, they didn't help me do that." You know why? Because they didn't pour into themselves. They're not doing
Right.
anything wrong. They're loving you like they love themselves.
Right.
That's why you
Yeah.
have to, it's imperative that you put yourself first. The world has us thinking that that's something selfish, but that's love.
Yeah.
That's love, because if you don't love yourself, how are you going to love somebody else?
So
So you
true.
have to build yourself up. You have to take care of you. And then once you do that, then that's when you have the overflow that you can pour out into everyone else. So that's why I always say it's your turn. When are you going to stop running on empty?
Yeah.
Because that's what we
Yeah.
do. And we help everybody else out. We're empty, we're drained, we feel bad at the end of the day. And it's like, no, you have to pour into yourself. You have to love you. You have to build yourself up. So
Yeah.
that's where that came from.
All right. When are you going to stop running on empty? I love that. I love that. So if there's someone listening that pretty much that's how they spend pretty much the season that they're in right now, that's pretty much how it's being spent, running on empty. What advice could you give to them?
To stop, to say no. No is a complete sentence, and it is okay to say no.
Yeah. Yeah. And I totally agree. I totally agree. Matter of fact, last week, my guest that I had on, we were kind of talking about that, and I was talking about, pretty much in the last 3 to 4 years, I finally, found the courage to start saying no. And after you, pretty much after the first 2 or 3 times, it becomes so much more easier. It
It does.
becomes so much more easier, and one of the things for me, you know, God blessed me with he bless I'm very grateful because he blessed me with quite a few talents, quite a few talents. So, you know, I would like to say I'm kind of one of those people that you call a jack of a lot of trades. But at the end of the day, trying to satisfy and please everybody, it pretty much had me in a point where I was running on fumes, almost running out of gas,
Mhm.
because I was always, doing this, doing this, doing this, and at the end of the day, I wasn't focused in on the main thing that I should be doing. So when you're running on fumes like that, somebody is going to end up getting shortchanged. And most of the time, it's going to be who? Yourself.
Yourself.
So yeah, so I basically learned that a few years back to say no. And I promise you, if you're listening or watching, Once you say no a few times, it becomes so much easy to tell someone just no, can't do it. No, can't do it. So yeah, I definitely encourage you to start trying. Say no. If you're running on fumes, like Pam said, you have to learn to say no.
That's right. And you know the most valuable thing about saying no, like you said, you say it a few times, and the reason why it gets easier after a few times is because you gain something that you didn't know you had, and that is
Right.
peace. You get peace when you say no, and there is nothing like peace.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And another one was you talked about your biggest enemy is you. I love that.
Yes.
Biggest enemy is you. And a lot of people don't understand it, and we get it all the time. When I'm done with this, uh, I'm just you think of those excuses. Well, I have this going on right now, so this is not a good time to start, or I'm going to start next week, or I've been thinking about that's a favorite line. I've been thinking about doing this. Just do it. Just do it. But yeah, the biggest enemy is you. Talk about that a little bit.
The biggest enemy is you. We can talk ourselves out of so many things. It's like, and sometimes to this day, I still have to catch myself doing this. That's why journaling is really good. So I'll say something, and then instantly, I always say I have a right side and I have a left side. Which one am I going to listen to? Because when something comes up, my left side is saying, girl, you know good and well, you're not good enough to do that. And
Right.
then it's like, oh yeah, I
Right.
can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And then it's
There
like,
it
man,
is.
I've already done so many other things before. Girl, you know you didn't have a college education. You ain't got no masters or no bachelors. You can't do this. So you have to pay attention to yourself. You have to pay attention to what you're saying to yourself because you can be your biggest enemy. Or again, I have helped everybody else throughout the day. I have went on a job. I was faithful on that job. I was on time. I worked overtime. I did everything. Now when it's time for me to do what I want to do, I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm my biggest enemy. Why did you do all of that?
Right. Right. Yeah. I I heard something pretty much that goes with what you just said a few years back, and the guy was talking about pretty much how we can show up on time for work. We show up on time for work. When they say go on break, you go on that break, you're back. When it's time to start back to work again, you go to lunch on time, you come back from lunch on time, you clock out on time. Sometimes you stay late. Why can't we apply those same principles to our life when we're trying to work on ourselves and build structure in our life? Stop putting off today. You can't just put off at work. Well, I'm not going to go to work today. I mean, you can, but how many days in a row can you not show up at work and still expect to have a job? Same thing when it comes to your life. You need to stop saying tomorrow and putting it off. Show up, and build, create a better you. You know, put that schedule together, put a plan in place where you want to work on, okay, so on Monday, I'm going to do this from 8 to 10 o'clock. On Tuesday, I'm going to do this, and stand by it and be precise and make sure you accomplish it. We talked about earlier on accomplishing those goals. That's small increments of goals that you're accomplishing to build a better you. But when you keep putting it off, a whole year that went by. Now you're looking at, wow, if I had did this in February of last year, if I had started, man, that would be a whole year. Man, just think about I could have been here by now. But when we put it off, what happens? We run out pretty much. That's why we're running on fumes because we haven't put the work in. We haven't filled up our tank.
That's right. We haven't been intentional. You have to be intentional about setting your life the way you want your life to be ran.
Right. Definitely. Definitely. So you're also and I'm like, you ladies look like an amazing, powerful set of women. I see you're a part of the Bridge Builders, and you guys are doing some amazing things. So it's just a bunch of powerful women that have come together, and you guys are just empowering each other.
Absolutely. I am the coach for the Bridge Builders. And the Bridge Builders is an amazing, amazing group of women. So the Bridge Builders are middle aged women who have decided that we're not going to do what society says and throw in the towel because we're middle aged. So we have these empowered women who have gone out now. They're starting their own businesses. They're supporting other people that's in businesses. We do a lot of community work. We help the elder people. We help the younger people. We are just out there making a difference, letting them know, hey, this is the way to go. We're setting the example for the people that are coming behind us. Don't ever throw in the towel, no matter what life has thrown at you, because with the bridge builders, again, they're middle-aged women. So a lot of them, they're going through empty nesting, they've gone through divorces, they're going through taking care of elderly parents. And it's so easy at that point to just throw in the towel, but it's like, no, we still have life ahead of us.
Right, right. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, I see you guys are always, doing some powerful stuff, having some great events. And I saw that last year, you guys did like a day party or something like that. It was like a brunch. It looked like it was very, very nice. Well, the pictures were just amazing. I saw a few videos. I'm like, I'm definitely going to make sure I catch that one next year. Well, this year, we're in the new year now. So this year, I want to make sure that I attend that one.
Absolutely. They have they call it Women Speakers Forum twice a year. And it's just again for women to know that you are not alone. So we have dynamic speakers that come in and they tell their stories. And it just lets you know it's like, wow, you went through that. Looking at you, you would have never ever been able to tell that you have overcome that. So it's hope. It gives life to people. It encourages and inspires other women. You're not out there alone. We all have been through something, and guess what? We're a sisterhood. We are going to stand together. We're going to help each other. We're going to encourage each other. So yeah, I love it.
Beautiful. Yeah. Well, um, since you're connected with such powerful women, I'm always looking for guests. So definitely, if you know any of them that's willing to tell their stories, I would love to connect with them and have them come on this platform and tell it, because there's always someone listening that's, we all have those different walks of life that we've been through, but
Mhm.
there's always someone listening that needs that, word of encouragement. So definitely, I would love to connect with some of them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So as as a coach and speaker, anyone that's listening today that needs a push in, building and becoming a better person, what type of advice could you leave them with to give them a push?
Absolutely. What I would leave them with is if you're comfortable where you're at, whether you like it or not, if you're comfortable where you're at, that means you need to go to the next step, because your reward, you going to the next level, is always right outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would
Yes.
say that if you on the fence about something that you want to do, a change that you want to make, it does not matter how big or how small it is. Hey, give me a call. We can have a 15-minute conversation about it and see which way, because a lot of times it's just that we have so much going on and we try to figure it all out at one time. And that's another thing I would tell them, don't try to figure it all out in one setting,
Yeah.
because you don't have to know the end results right now. All you have to know is, hey, I'm ready to make a change.
Yeah. And that's the thing, realizing that because a lot of times we realize that we're ready to make a change, we just don't take that step.
That's right. That's right. You have to take that step. You have to take that step.
Yeah, it's mandatory that we take that step. So yeah, definitely what Pam said. If you are very comfortable where you're at now, You got to step out and realize there's a better you on the outside of your comfort zone, and a lot of us, you know, it's that fear of failing. we we know that we can build a better us on the outside of our comfort zone, but there's that fear of failing, those what ifs, what if, and like you said something earlier about you can let the left side of your thinking override the right side of your thinking, and that left side oftentimes will defeat us, and you just be like, well, maybe right now is not the time.
Yeah. Absolutely. And you know what? We have been, again, it's a mindset. It's a mindset. We have gotten so accustomed to saying, "What if I fail?" That's as though that's something bad if you fail.
Right.
It's no, there's no such things as failure. There is a such thing as a different way to do something. So if you don't like the way it turned out, that doesn't mean that it's failure. It just means that you need to go back to the drawing board and do it a different way.
Yes. Right. Because one of the things that I failed many times, but
Hmm.
one of the things that I have been able to take with me from failure to failure, you always gain some tools of knowledge along the way. So
That's right.
basically, you look at what worked and what did not work. So
That's
when you
right.
fail, pick your head up, keep pushing forward, take with you what worked and leave behind what didn't work. And each time you see yourself climbing up. You climbing up because first of all, you're going to gain confidence realizing, okay, so this did work for me. And then also you're going to gain confidence when you look at where you're at now
Hmm.
compared to where you were at when you first started. So you didn't totally fail.
That's right.
You just didn't, you may didn't accomplish what you were trying to accomplish, but you didn't totally fail. The only way that you totally failed is basically you fell all the way down and basically you quit.
That's it. To stay stuck in your current position is the only way that you can fail.
Right.
That is it. And then you're only failing yourself,
Right. That's it.
because a
That's
lot of
it.
times we will stay in a situation for years knowing that we don't like that situation.
Right.
But
Yeah.
you're scared to go to the other side, and that's where I come in. It's like, to have a life coach, that's what we do. We encourage you, we hold your hand, we walk that same walk with you. We
Yeah.
can't do it for you, but we can do it with you.
Right. Right. Yeah. I love the coaching act portion of it because people don't realize, and granted, a lot of people they don't want to invest in the coach, but you don't realize a coach will bring something out of you that has just been sitting dormant, just sitting there dormant. And when they start to bring that stuff out of you, and that was one of the things that I learned through
Hmm.
my coach, I'm like, wow, because basically, like you said, they don't do it they don't do it for us, but they help. But one of the things is when they get you to talking and you start
Hmm.
to talk, and all of this stuff starts to come out off of a small little question that you ask. A lot of times it's a one liner
Yes.
that the coach
Yes.
asked, and then you just started rolling off the tongue. And about 5 minutes into it, you're like, whoa. And they look at you like, see that? You see what you
Yeah.
just did?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing,
Yeah.
and you can gain so much growth
Hmm.
more than anything. Confidence. You're gaining that
Hmm.
confidence in
Hmm.
yourself, and you're learning to defeat fear.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
learning to defeat fear. It's amazing. It's
Yes.
amazing. So yeah, do you have anything coming up in the future that you're working on?
I do. I have a workshop that I'm working on. So stay tuned. I'm going to have the information out about that shortly. But yes, I'm in the lab now. I'm putting some things together. And this is going to be a positive mindset workshop, because I think a lot of times it starts in our mind. Because again, when we talk ourselves out of things, it's in our mind. So that's
Yes.
what I'm working on. So hopefully in the next month or so, I'll have that ready.
Good deal. Good
Yeah.
deal. Well, I will have all of Pam's information in the footer um, of the video portion, as well as the footer of the audio portion as well. I have her website and everything that you can connect with her website, her social media info. She posts some amazing stuff on her Pam Has Favor Facebook page. So definitely connect with her on there. She has a great following, and she definitely has daily posts that will definitely be good food for you. Definitely good food for you. So definitely connect with her there. But as I stated, I will have all of her information in the footers. So you can definitely click on that and connect with her. And yeah, it's been an amazing chat with you. Thank you so much for taking the time out to chat with us. And totally appreciate you. Totally appreciate you. I'm looking forward to continuing to see you grow and continuing to see you grace, the stages, and just more than anything, celebrate your wins and enjoy life.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Definitely. So yeah, if you don't have anything else for us, we appreciate you. And I look forward to chatting with you again soon.
All right. If I can just say that if there's anybody in your audience right now that is dealing with something or coping with something right now and they want to talk, have a conversation with me, just have them to reach out with me and we can have a conversation to see if it's something that maybe we can work together with overcoming for you.
Yes, definitely. And you do consultations and all of that, correct?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Yes.
So yeah, we can do a complimentary one just to see because not
Right.
everybody fits with each other. So I'm very honest. If I don't think we're a good fit or you don't think we're a good fit, then hey, there's other people I can refer you to because I'm not just gonna leave you hanging. Or we can
Yeah.
find another solution for you. Or if we work together, hey, we can make that happen.
Yes. Yeah. So definitely, yeah, if you want to reach out to Pam, definitely if you're watching via YouTube, you see that banner going across the bottom there, pamhasfavor.com. You can click on type that in your browser, and she has the link on there where you can book an appointment with her right on the website.
Mhm.
And as well, as I stated, I'll have that info in the footer as well, and make it easy for you. You can just click on it, because I know a lot of people are, once again, putting off stuff. You look at it going, you see that ticker going across the bottom, and you see it. It's like, oh, I'll type it in later, and you forget.
Yeah.
So go down to the footer and click on that hyperlink, and it'll take you straight to her page. Uh, yeah, and I'm telling you guys, she would definitely get you on track. So definitely reach out to her. As she stated, she do that complimentary consultation,
Mhm.
and you guys will figure out if she's a perfect fit for you. And also on her website, grab that book and journal. I guarantee you it will be a blessing to you. We all need that journal in our life, and we all need to always be pushing to build a better us. So definitely click on that link and support Pam. And yeah, until next week, you guys be blessed and have an amazing week.